Inside this boot bag are the only pair of football boots I will ever wear in my life. So a long time ago, about 15, 16 years ago, I was in Spain for a showcase tournament. I was there for a couple weeks in the summer, and at first, everything was going really, really well. I had only brought one pair of boots to this tournament. They were some old Vapors, Nike Vapors, and a couple days into the showcase, I got these massive blisters on the back of my heels. And it really made it difficult for me to train and play. I was soldiering through the training sessions, or sometimes I even had to stop early and not train as much as the other guys. And then in the games, I was in agony the whole time. And it really stopped me from playing to my full potential. I remember when I went back to Greece from Spain, I told my mom what had happened, what had been happening during the showcase, and she went out that day and bought me a pair of Copa Mundials. But I didn't really like the Copas. They just didn't fit my feet that well. They were definitely more comfortable than the Vapors I had been wearing before, but I just didn't love them, didn't love the way they looked. I think I wore them for a couple training sessions. I don't think I ever wore them in a game. And then I went back to wearing more modern football boots from Nike, Adidas, Puma. I even wore some New Balance boots at one point until I found Unozeros. Now, as you can see, I don't just have this pair of Unozeros. I also have all of these. And I'm even actually wearing Unozero futsal shoes as my sneakers, and I wear these as sneakers every day. And that might seem like a silly little thing, but it is actually so important because it illustrates exactly why the only football boots I will ever wear from now on are Unozeros. They're comfortable enough to wear as sneakers. These futsal shoes that I'm wearing are literally the Modelos, just with a different sole plate. And like I said, I wear them every day because they are that comfortable. You see, modern football boot companies have it all wrong. They're always trying to come up with the newest and fanciest gimmick. They're trying to make boots weigh nothing, taking all the material off so that they'll make you faster. They're trying to add different elements that will make you shoot harder or make your touch better. But none of that stuff actually works at all. What football boots should do is fit your feet really, really well and also be comfortable. And that is exactly what Unozeros do. Now, because Unozeros are made completely of really premium leather, we have the kangaroo leather on the Modelos, and then on the Calis, we have calf leather. Both are really great options, although I will say that I do prefer the kangaroo leather on the Modelos, but they're both super comfortable. The thing that's so great about football boots that are made out of leather is this. When I was a kid and I was growing up, I always dreamed of having a pair of football boots designed for me. So when Ronaldinho came out with his signature boot, I got those. I actually got 2 different versions of those boots because I loved that idea so much. And Ronaldinho was a player that I looked up to, obviously, phenomenal player, loved watching him play. But, of course, I was never even close to a good enough player to have a pair of football boots designed specifically for me. But when I wear Unozeros, it almost feels like these boots were designed for me. Because when you take a pair of football boots made out of premium leather and you wear them, and they're a good size for you, and you wear them a lot, that leather is actually going to mold to fit your feet perfectly. So Unozeros are comfortable straight out of the box because they're made out of leather, but they actually only get more and more and more comfortable over time. And that brings me to my final point. Again, when I was a young player, I used to get new football boots multiple times a season, not because I was spoiled and I needed the latest boots all the time, although I did like getting the latest boots and with the fanciest new gimmick and the flashiest color, but also just because my football boots would break all the time. I remember losing studs, I had boots that would rip, and sometimes this stuff was happening within weeks of getting those football boots. Of course, I was training every day, multiple hours a day. I was playing multiple games every week. But still, you would hope that your football boots would last a couple months at the very least. And this is the most amazing thing about Unozeros. I have had these exact football boots for over 2 years. This is the pair that I wear the most. Maybe apart from the futsal shoes that I wear as sneakers every day. But I wear these a lot, and I train really hard in them. I wear them for all my coaching sessions, a lot of my individual sessions, my team sessions, and I maybe need to clean these, maybe. And they don't look brand new. They don't look bad, but they don't look brand new because I've been wearing them for 2 years. But they could be brand new probably if I cleaned them. They haven't lost any studs. They haven't ripped at all. I haven't even changed out the laces. They're perfect. They're in perfect condition. And I wear them, and as I said before, they're actually more comfortable now than they were when I first got them. I actually like them more now than I did when I first got them. They fit me perfectly. So 2 years of wearing them every day, and they're fine. And that blew my mind. Every day that I wear these boots, and I'm like, oh my God, I got these 2 years ago. It blows my mind that I'm still wearing them because I have never had a pair of football boots last me that long. Probably because I was getting football boots that maybe cost a lot of money, but they weren't made as well as Unozeros are made. And that brings us to the last thing about Unozeros, which may be a negative. The only negative that I could pick out. They're expensive, all right? Unozeros are pretty expensive. These boots are $250. There's discounts you can use to get them a little bit cheaper than that. Even the sneakers are over $100. The Calis, I believe, are $200. So they're not cheap boots. But as I said, they hold up. So if you're going to get a pair of football boots and be happy with one pair of football boots for 2 years, I don't think you could buy another pair of football boots for $250 that would last you 2 years. So you have to weigh the pros and the cons. These boots aren't cheap, but that's because they're not cheap. So anyway, enough chit-chat. Let's put the boots on and see how they perform on the field.
Here I am getting my sneakers or futsal shoes off and getting the Unozero Modelos on. I could have worn a couple different pairs of my Unozeros, but these are definitely my favorites. I've had them for a long time and worn them a ton, so they're really well broken in. Unozeros are super comfortable right out of the box, but they do get even softer over time. So these are my go-to pair, and that's why I'm wearing them for this session that I'm going to walk you through right now. Let's get into the first drill we're going to do, which is just a little bit of freestyle juggling to warm up. I usually do this instead of a dynamic warm-up. I think dynamic warm-ups are a little bit overrated. I think you should just get out on the field, knock a ball around, move around, get warm, and from there, you're probably good to go into the first drill. So yeah, just a little bit of freestyling and juggling with different parts of the feet, and then we're going to hop right into the first actual drill, which is wall juggling. I could stand in front of a wall all day long and just juggle a ball, and I probably have, to be honest. Wall juggling is my go-to first drill in a training session, unless I don't have a wall to juggle against, in which case I'll probably do height juggling, where you juggle, knock the ball high into the air, and try to juggle when it comes down. I do prefer wall juggling, though, just because you're playing the passes and then receiving from in front of you rather than just from straight up in the sky, and that feels a little bit more match realistic to me. After I do a couple of minutes like this, where it's a little bit more relaxed, I'm taking a bunch of touches in between, then I'll get into some one touch. If you can work up to doing this comfortably, with both feet of course, that says a lot about how good your touch is. And then we're going to get into the next drill, which is first touch to positional play. This is my favorite drill of all time for individual training, and it's super simple. All you're going to do is juggle, knock the ball high into the air, take a first touch down, and play. What I mean when I say play is you're going to do whatever you do most often in a game. I'm an attacking player, so normally when I get the ball in the game, I'm going to goal. So here I'm dribbling around a little bit, creating some space for a shot, then taking the shot, and following the rebound to build a good habit that I can take into my games as well. This drill allows you to push the intensity while also being creative, which makes it, for me, the perfect individual training drill. Look at that touch. And this is actually the last drill that we're going to do. I did the freestyle juggling for 5 to 10 minutes, then about 10 minutes on the wall passing, and then 20-25 minutes on this, and that's it. My individual training sessions out on the field are usually not longer than 40, maybe 50 minutes, and that's because quality is so much more important than quantity. Just pick a couple of simple drills and do them well with a lot of intensity, and you'll have a great individual training session. Let's see how this last shot goes. Oof, messed up the touch there. That's okay. Make mistakes, just recover from them, right? Following the rebound, building that good habit. And again. And again. There we go. I do a 5 to 10 minute cool down at the end of every session, normally just juggling a ball. Maybe I'll throw in some freestyle tricks or some height juggling, but just keep it pretty relaxed, pretty calm, just to cool down. This session may not have been very long, but it was very intense. I was super tired after it, so I actually just juggled. I didn't throw in anything extra because I was tired. And there you go. That is a full session in the Unozeros.
Whew, there you go. Full training session in the Unozeros. Absolutely love these boots. 5 out of 5 stars, 10 out of 10 stars, 11 out of 10 stars, whatever you want to say. You'll notice that the session I just did was very simple, very basic. I wasn't doing a lot of complicated drills. I didn't have a ton of equipment. I think that a lot of young footballers make the mistake of doing a lot of drills, using all these different pieces of equipment, and they don't focus on the things that actually matter, the simple things, and perfect those things. That's what's going to make you a better footballer. And that's the same mistake football boot companies have been making recently, focusing on all these fancy new gimmicks and forgetting about what actually matters, which is fit and comfort and boots being really well made. And those are the things that Unozero focuses on. They focus on those simple, basic things, but they do them perfectly. And that is why I wear Unozeros.